You will never watch this movie in your entire life. Not because you'll choose not to, but because you'll never be able to. Movies have always been events to look forward to. A new movie gets announced, trailers are released to get audience members excited, and posters are shown to give us an idea of what the film will look like in one frame. And the rest is just a waiting game, to see whether or not the film lived up to audience expectations. This is the traditional life cycle of many films. Some movies are advertised longer than others, but the cycle for the most part remains the same. That is until one film directed by Robert Rodriguez and starring John Malkovich came to fruition. In November of 2015, the film 100 Years was announced. With that announcement came the date of release for the film, November 18th, 2115, 100 years from the day the film was originally announced. The tagline, "The movie you will never see," was stamped on the movie poster. Admittedly, a great tagline for the concept of this movie. Naturally, the news was a shock to the film community. Why would any film use this strategy for release? What is to gain from such a long wait time? There had to be a reason as to why this film was choosing this way of release. And there is. The film is being made alongside the company Louis XIII Cognac, owned by Remy Martin. The idea was to make a film inspired by the length it took to make a single bottle of Louis XIII, which I'm sure you can guess is 100 years. The 100-year wait time for a bottle of Louis XIII ended up being the length they wanted to wait for the film to release to the public. Not only that, but artist Pharrell Williams will be composing a song also titled 100 Years, oddly enough to be released in November 2117, as opposed to 2115 to complement the film's release. The story and premise behind the film remains a secret, so secret in fact that it's being held behind a bulletproof glass that is planned to open on November 18th, 2115. There are 3 teasers for the film that are available to watch on YouTube, and they give us a general idea of what the film could be like. It seems to lean towards the sci-fi fantasy genre, with an emphasis on their vision as to what the future could look like in 2115. I'm sure it'll look just as goofy as 2015 looked like in Back to the Future Part 2. Robert Rodriguez and John Malkovich were both given invitation tickets for their future family members in order to attend the eventual premiere. At the 2016 Cannes Film Festival, the safe that contains the actual film was shown. Soon afterwards, however, they returned the safe to Cognac, France, where it'll sit for 100 years in the Louis XIII cellars. While the gimmick is more than obvious, I still wonder why any studio would want to greenlight this type of film. They won't see a return on investment for a century. That is, if anyone even wants to see this film. But after doing a bit more research, I learned that this was actually a short film, which at the very least means that the amount of money spent on this project wasn't as much as it could have been. But at the same time, your average audience member might never get the chance to see it in theaters if it only premieres at film festivals and never has a wide theatrical release like feature films do. But what exactly was the point of doing something so ambitious if it is just a short film? This isn't the first time we've seen a long production cycle for a film. Boyhood was filmed over the course of 12 years, but at least with that film, we would actually see it in our lifetime. And the gimmick with that film was that we could see the main characters grow up as they would film a portion of the film every year. In the case for 100 Years, the film's done. It's just locked up in France waiting to be opened, in about 95 years from now. I'm not sure we'll ever see a gimmick this bold for a film ever again. This isn't a remarkable filmmaking achievement like Boyhood, they're just holding on to a film's release for 100 years. I'm sure it'll be really cool to look back on when the time actually comes for people to see the film. Let's just hope no one leaks it. That would be a major waste of time.